Welcome to my channel, The Three Mountains. My name is White Eagle. Today I bring you part 5 of Crocodile Sebek, and this is about the patience of Saint Job. There are 8 years of the tests of Saint Job that start in the second mountain and continue into the third mountain. And here I have put a painting where Saint Job is praying to God, talking to God. Now let's get started. In just a moment. And so Job is the central figure of the book of Job in the Bible. Job is called one of the prophets of the Gentiles, and in Islam, Job is also considered a prophet. Job is presented as a good and prosperous family man who is beset by Satan with God's permission, with horrendous disasters to take away all that he holds dear, including his offspring, his health, but not his life, and his property. Despite his difficult circumstances, he does not curse God, but rather curses the day of his birth. And although he anguishes over his plight, he stops short of accusing God of injustice. Job's miserable earthly condition is simply God's will. Job later is restored to an even better condition than his former wealthy state. So this is a summary of what happens to Saint Job. Now let's continue. And here I put an image of Saint Job when he was a prosperous, as I said here, he's the central figure in this painting. He's a prosperous, wealthy man. Everybody loved him. And here we see Saint Job seated, receiving gifts of the people. Yeah, this is a painting by Renai, an Italian painter. So the story goes that Job was a wealthy man and loved by people. So people will follow and love you for the Gnostic teachings, yes? And then one day, the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil, and he still maintains his integrity, though you incited me against him to ruin him without any reason." And Satan, the devil, replies, "Skin for skin," Satan replied. "A man will give all he has for his own life. But now stretch out your hand and strike his flesh and bones, and he will surely curse you to your face." Then the Lord said to Satan, "Very well then, he is in your hands, but you must spare his life." Now my words, and this is how Ahriman, Sebek, gets released and has permission to do everything and anything in his power to bring you down, but not to kill you. Now we go to video number 46, when Ahriman the beast is released, well, before he is released. And there Master Samael claims that before the Christ resurrects in the third mountain, Ahriman must be killed. And let's take a look. Here we go. I hope my computer does not fail me. There we go. So here it says that when one has totally died in oneself, yes, on the cross, then only the beast remains. This is why it has been said, my dear brothers and sisters, that before Christ comes, the Antichrist shall come. Before the Christ resurrects, yeah, that will be in the third mountain, within someone, the Antichrist, the beast, must be killed and is revealed. So after the death on the cross, we will come to meet or to find out who will be Ahriman in our lives. And it is not nice, I can tell you that. And we go now to this image that I put. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know why my computer is not helping today, but you can visit again. Here we go. Here is Ahriman, right? And I am with Master Samael in that astral experience. Let's see if I can bring the image a little bit back, if it allows me. There. And Master Samael is in the astral telling me when it comes out to the world, it will do a lot of harm. And I'm saying it's looking for a way out. So this is when God gives permission to Satan, to the devil, to do anything in his power to you, but just not to kill you. Right? So Ahriman is released. And that is what happens in the second mountain. So let's continue. In the first mountain, you defeat the devil from inside you. In the second mountain, you must defeat devil, Sebek or Ahriman, and it will be outside you. Yeah, it will attack you from outside. Ahriman, the Antichrist, will take external shape and force in your life from inside a Hasnamus, someone who you taught gnosis and followed the path of evil and grew in evil instead of going along the right path. Yeah, I have already explained in a previous video what is a Hasnamus, so go back and check it out. It's a person with double center of gravity, one evil, one saint and saintly, and in this case somebody who stops working on the evil and grows in evil and for doing evil in the world, right? So in my case, Ahriman split into two evil Hasnamusen who came to destroy my life. Yeah, and I will narrate. Let's go back to Job now. And he says, so Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and afflicted Job with painful sores from the soles of his feet to the crown of his head. Now my words, yes, a health issue will fall upon you. In 2015, I got a sudden pain in my heart, and this pain continued to increase for 3 years as I was running and hiding all over the UK. This pain continued until 2018, when in July I fell in hospital a second time. I could not walk 3 steps without being stopped by my heart. In the third mountain, we fall ill in hospital again, according to Master Samael. So I started video number 1 on YouTube. The next day I came out from hospital and my voice is very weak, as you can notice. Yeah, so if you want to go back to video number 1. Now let's go back to Job. Then Job took a piece of broken pottery and scraped himself with it as he sat among the ashes. Yeah. Now my words again, I lost my house, I lost all my property, I became homeless for about a year. In the refuge, one meets all sorts of people with problems, drug users, lesbians trying to turn you from the right path, and even people who say that they want to help you, but then they turn against you and betray you. So trust no one. All my belongings and my clothes from my house were sold in a public car boot sale without my consent. I was moved here and there, and all my belongings and my son's belongings were reduced to one piece of luggage. Now let's continue. Now Job, his wife said to him, are you still maintaining your integrity? Curse God and die. And here is a painting of Job and his wife. Now my words again. Why are you not dead yet? You are old and ill. How come you're still alive? This is an example of a text I used to receive from my ex-husband, who did not like me. So I was moved from one refuge to another by Women's Aid all over the UK due to the constant persecutions. More men came to the refuge with our photos trying to locate us. Since the year 2015, I have been persecuted non-stop. The tests of Job are for 8 physical years. I just want to clarify that. So it's a long process. At the end of 2016, the police in Wales, my starting point was in Scotland, in all these moves, asked me to change my name and my son's name to make it more difficult to be found as persecutions continued. Master Samael says that along the path we lose our own identity and we get a new name. So this is true. I am a witness that we received new names. So everywhere we went, we received police protection. In 2018, I did not accept being under police protection anymore. I was simply tired. It was useless against Ahriman's attack. Now we go back to Job. When Job's 3 friends heard about all the troubles that had come upon him, they set out from their homes and met together by agreement to go and sympathize with him and to comfort him. Then they sat on the ground with him for 7 days and 7 nights. No one said a word to him, because they saw how great his suffering was. Yes? And let's take a look. Here I have a painting of Job with his friends. Now my words, this is true. Good friends will come to help you and to be by your side for some time. But Ahriman, the beast, will give threats to all your friends. The friends are around you. And they will go leaving you one by one. Now Job speaks. After this, Job opened his mouth and cursed the day of his birth. So yes, you feel really that why are you alive on earth? Yes, that there is no point. I felt great guilt and wished to die because one feels that one is the cause of all things, all bad things happening around you and even to your friends who are attacked by Ahriman. But later on, what happens is that Job's friends start to doubt him as well, start to doubt his innocence. And they say, consider now who, being innocent, has ever perished? Where were the upright ever destroyed? As I have observed, those who plow evil and those who sow trouble reap it. Yes? But suddenly his house was cursed. His children are far from safety, crushed in court without a defender. Now my words, this is true. Even my last dear friend started doubting me. And in the Astral, this is what happened. I am walking with her along a river. The sun is setting. So this means that the light of God is disappearing. And I could see assassins coming and hiding, hidden in the bushes behind me. And they have come to kill me, And I put this image because they were like ninja assassins that I noticed that she had brought them. And like this, our friendship died, first in the astral and then in the physical. I wake up and I know that I am no longer welcome in her house. So I went to collect my things and left, not to return again. The egos in her mind proved to be stronger than our friendship of 10 years. Now, Job again. When I think my bed will comfort me and my couch will ease my complaint, even then you frighten me with dreams and terrify me with visions. I despise my life. I would not live forever. Let me alone. My days have no meaning. My words again. Scary astral experiences like this one were often. More scary were the experiences of meeting Ahriman in the astral, and I used to wake up in my bed feeling afraid, alone and defenseless. Daytime, you're running and afraid, always alert to attacks, and at night you enter the astral to see the terrible plots that Ahriman has in store for you. There is no peace to find inside you, nor outside you. Nowhere you can rest and sleep at peace for many years. Now again, Job says, I have become a laughing stock to my friends, though I called on God and he answered, a mere laughing stock, though righteous and blameless. Yes? So this is true. I saw it in the astral not too long ago. I was taken to my past, and when I became homeless and I was in the street with all my belongings running from here to there, and my friends were standing looking at me and my things and laughing from the front door of their home. They brought me a plate with corn cakes for me to eat, symbol of death of the egos, whenever you see corn in the astral. As they were doing charity with me, yes, just charity. So, but I didn't expect them to be laughing at me or at my situation, which was real, utter misery. And I wouldn't laugh at anybody if I see them in the street, homeless, yes. So I was attacked on all possible ways. Lies were told about me that I borrowed £16,000, and so I was under investigation by the police for a year or so. Lies reached the police that my house was being used as a brothel, and couples were paying me for overnight stays. So I was laundering huge amounts of money. Actually, I was used to receive tourists through Airbnb, and I taught gnosis to them when they were curious about my Gnostic books in my house. Constant lies, constant attacks from Ahriman. At the refuge, I was under observation by the social services as they received claims that I was crazy, a whore, a black magician, etc., etc., etc. And of course, I was not a suitable mom to keep my child, while courts were taking place. In the astral, though, I could see Master Samael attending those courts and defending me in person. In spite of being homeless with my son, who was 4 years old at the time, turning 5, I had to keep paying the whole mortgage for my house for 3 more years, and until it was finally sold by court order. Therefore, I hardly had money left to buy food and to pay for our accommodation in a refuge. Heavy debts on my person appeared in all unimaginable ways. I was despised by my neighbors where I lived for my first book that I published on the path. I used to give my books away for free to people to read about the path. Yes, I used to be a public person. When I returned one day to the house to collect a few belongings, neighbors came out, from their homes to tell me to go away from their neighborhood and never to return. And they called the police to arrest me from my own house. I remained silent. The police came, asked all neighbors if I had caused any public disturbance. They all said no, but they all claimed that I was not welcome. So the officer got angry suddenly, out of nowhere, and shouted at my face to grab my things and leave the way I came from. Remember, Master Samael, each exaltation is preceded by a humiliation. When I returned to Women's Aid Refuge, I was moved to another refuge, as 2 guys disguised as sheriff officers were trying to kidnap my son. The path becomes very dangerous. I received death threats on my phone and emails calling me names from slut to the devil's priestess wife, and of performing black magic on people to obey me and to follow me to the path of perdition. In reference to the teaching, in reference to teaching gnosis to tourists when they stay in my home. All friends left or did not want to be associated with my person. The couple who tried to defend me told me that they had received a phone call telling them to stay away from me or something dangerous would happen to them. I told them to leave me and not to risk themselves for protecting me. Again, Job. Then he fell to the ground in worship and said, Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised. In all this, Job did not sin by charging God with wrongdoing. Yeah, so this is the main point. And here we have Job praising God. Yes, and he's naked. My words. And the list continues, but I think you get the image of what events to expect in the second mountain. This is my personal account of events. Your story will be another, but all who take the direct path have to go through the tests of Saint Job and expect blows will be as heavy as this. How did I survive all these blows? My inner mind opened in the second mountain, and I started to see the planned attacks coming in the astral in advance. In the astral, you see people of the Black Lodge coming for you, and I obey my intuition on where to go, how to hide, when to run. I lost the will to live. I forgot what it means to be happy, or how to smile for a long time. I remember being left completely empty when I arrived at the third mountain. In today's meditation, I received word from my being in the astral. I was copy-pasting the quotes from the book of Job, and I heard my being asking me to write here this. Remember not to complain against God. So that's the final message for people who are doing the path. And this is the end of part 5. And I leave you my emails for inquiries, the3mountains19@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.